Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, now children, we were in the chapter reproduction, isn't it? 14th chapter. We had completed that, no? 14th.
Yes, ma'am. We have to do
Yes,
Ma'am,
15
chapter 15, ma'am.
Ma'am, we have
Chapter
completed
15.
chapter 14.
हाँ, ठीक है. So let's start. Chapter 15 is your reaching the age of adolescence. Now, children, one of you please tell me the definition of adolescence.
It is a transitional
Adolescence is
stage
the
that
Adolescence is a transaction state that occurs between childhood and adulthood and adulthood. It is a stage of physical and mental human development.
Stage of physical and mental human development.
It is the stage of transition between childhood and adulthood, marked by rapid physical and mental development.
Childhood and adulthood stage is physical and mental
Adolescence is a transitional state of physical and mental human development that occurs between childhood and adulthood.
Adolescence
Yes, ma'am.
stage of a transmission between.
That was correct. That definition was correct. Now we will come to what are the points in which we discuss about the changes in puberty. Give me the point.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
increase in height,
increase in
increase in
height
height of heart and lungs, change in the body shape, change in voice, increase the activity of sweat, which is glands.
Change in the size of heart and lungs,
change in body shape, change in voice,
increased
activity of sweat and sebaceous glands.
Okay. One by one, children. Those whose name will be called, they will speak. Kavish,
Yes, ma'am.
define puberty.
Yes, ma'am. The time span over which adolescence reaches sexual maturity is known as puberty.
Okay, let's come to the question answer. Define puberty. What is the average age for the onset of puberty in boys and girls? Kavish, one part
Yes,
you have
ma'am.
said, the other part you say.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it is 12 years for boys and 10, around 12 years for boys and 10 years for girls.
Why are endocrine glands known as ductless gland? Ananya.
Endocrine glands are known as ductless glands as they don't have ducts of their own. They pour their secretion directly into the birth stream.
Okay. What will happen to tadpoles if iodine is deficient in the pond water? Sarah.
Yes, ma'am. The hormone thyroxine produced by the thyroid gland of the frog is essential to carry out the process of metamorphosis, and iodine is needed for the production of thyroxine. It is made available by the water in which the tadpoles are growing. And if iodine will be deficient in it, the tadpole will fail to grow into a frog.
Next, Shubh Narayan. List the
Yes, ma'am.
secondary sexual characters that appear during puberty in males and females respectively.
Yes, ma'am.
they are the growth of sexual organs and the release of hormones, which is testosterone in boys and estrogen and progesterone in females. The development of secondary sexual characters are the growth of pubic hair and uh, etc. and the growth of Adam's apple in boys.
Okay. Now, next question goes to Yashashvi. Sorry, Yashvi.
Yes,
Yashvi Rai. Uh, define adolescence. Same question.
Adolescence is a transitional stage of physical and mental human development that occurs between childhood and adulthood, which leads to sexual maturity of a character.
Then Aditi Priya. Aditi Priya,
Yes, ma'am.
why are endocrine glands known as ductless glands?
Endocrine glands are also known as ductless glands as they do not have any ducts of their own. They pour their secretion directly into bloodstream.
What will happen to tadpole if iodine is deficient in the pond water? Aman Kumar,
Yes, ma'am.
what will happen to tadpoles if iodine is deficient in pond water?
The hormone thyroxine produced by the thyroid gland of the frog is essential to carry out this process of metamorphosis. Iodine is needed for the production of thyroxine. It is made available by the water in which the tadpoles are growing.
Next, Priyanshu, list the various changes that occur during puberty in human beings.
Yes, ma'am. These are the changes that occur in human beings during puberty. First, increase in height and weight, change in the size of lungs and hearts, change in the voice, change in the body shape, and increased activity of sweat glands and sebaceous glands.
Yes. Next, Anupriya, how is the sex
Yes,
of a
ma'am.
human child determined?
Ma'am, please
How
repeat.
is the sex of a human child determined? Got the
Ma'am,
question?
I don't want to.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, I
can I, Vasvi Sagar?
Ma'am, can I?
Ma'am, can I,
Vasvi, you have
Navya?
got the chance, no? Navya.
No, ma'am.
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am, I don't.
Navya
Human
will
beings have. Yes, ma'am. Human beings have 46 chromosomes in the nucleus of their cells. Out of these, 44 are called autosomes, and the last pair is termed as sex chromosomes. This last pair is different in males and females. In males, it is XY, and in females, it is XX. The gametes have half the number of chromosomes as that of the cells occurring elsewhere in the body. This means that the egg will always have 22 plus X chromosomes, while a sperm will have either 22 plus X or 22 plus Y chromosomes. During fertilization, if an egg fuses with 22 plus Y chromosome, Y sperm, then the resultant zygote will develop into a male child. And if it fuses with 22 plus X sperm, then the resultant zygote will develop into a female child.
Don't say only X, XX. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
एक केवल नहीं बोलो. Because we have one pair now. So it will be
Yes, ma'am.
22 plus XX. Okay? That is silly
Yes, ma'am.
mistakes if you will do, then you will get, your marks will be cut in exam. Then Vashvi, do you want to repeat this?
Yes, ma'am.
How is the sex
Yes,
of a
ma'am.
human child determined? Tell.
Yes, ma'am. Human beings have 46 chromosomes. Of these, 44 are known as autosomes. The last pair is termed as sex chromosomes. These last pair is different in males and females. In males, it is XY chromosomes, and in females, it is XX chromosomes. The gametes have half the number of chromosomes as that of cell occurring elsewhere in the body. This means that an egg will always have 22 plus X chromosomes, while a sperm has 22 plus X or 22 plus Y chromosomes. During fertilization, if an egg fuses with X, 22 plus Y sperm, the resultant zygote will develop into a male child. If an egg fuses with X plus X sex chromosome sperm, the resultant zygote will develop into a female child.
Okay. Next. Pragya, discuss the harmful effects of poor nutrition in adolescence. Pragya, are you there? No. Are you interested in answering, Pragya? Do you know this? Okay. Priyanshu, Rajab,
Yes, ma'am.
बोलिए आप ये answer. Discuss the harmful effects of poor nutrition in adolescence.
During adolescence, it is necessary to have a balanced diet.
Mm.
If we will not have a balanced diet, and it can cause many health problems in the future,
Mm.
like bone fracture, osteoporosis,
Mm.
etc.
Etc. will
It
not
can
be.
also
Etc. You have to explain it. To give your points.
yes, ma'am.
Ah.
It can also cause
Bolo. Who can explain this answer well?
Ma'am,
Shubh.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, Shubh. Yes, ma'am.
Now, Kavi.
Yes, ma'am. In the age of adolescence, a well-balanced diet is required to prevent any diseases in the future. If the diet of adolescents lacks in any vitamins, then they may suffer to the deficiency disease, such as if their diet lacks in vitamin D, calcium, etc. They may suffer from bone fracture or osteoporosis in the future. If their diet lacks in iron or zinc, then they may have certain blood circulation problems in the future. And if that diet lacks in vitamin C, then they may have immunity problems in the future. So it is very important to have a very balanced diet which contains all the nutrients.
Yes. Children, in this question, it looks that it is very easy, but you have to give the points, relevant points, that what all problem you are going to face in future if you are not having a balanced diet or if you have a pure nutrition in adolescence. Then next, Kavish.
Yes, ma'am.
Kavish, are you there?
Yes,
you tell me
ma'am.
why is physical exercise important for adolescent?
Ma'am, like just food, physical activity or exercise is a daily requirement. Exercise also helps in better digestion of food and more efficient elimination of toxins from the body. It improves blood circulation and increases the respiratory efficiency of lungs. Physical activity is also important to combat the stress and strain of adolescence. It keeps the individual fit and stimulate the growth process.
Yes. Next, Explain the major event that occur in the reproductive cycle in human female. Who is interested in answering? This is a long answer. Ananya.
Ma'am, please.
Ma'am, please repeat the question.
Question is, explain the major events that occur in the reproductive cycle of females.
Yes, ma'am. In females, the ovaries become active when the girl reaches puberty, and this is normally between 11 to 13 years of age. One ovum in one of the ovaries become matured in once about in 28 days, and the mature ovum enters the oviduct where it gets fertilized. If fertilized, it develops and reaches the uterus, a pear-shaped structure present between the ovaries. If fertilization does not occur, the egg disintegrates and the lining of blood vessels is shed off. This process of blood flow is termed as menstruation. The first menstruation flow that begins in a girl at puberty is termed as menarche. The menstrual cycles stops when the woman reaches 45 to 50 years of age. This is termed as menopause.
Okay. Next. Raghuveer Ranjan. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
आप बोलिए, what will happen to tadpoles if iodine is deficient in the pond water? Tell me. You are not knowing.
Yes,
Hardly children time is left. Who will tell this answer? Abhishek. Abhishek Kumar. 8G.
Ma'am, which
Ma'am, please
question?
repeat the question.
Question is, what will happen to tadpoles if iodine is deficient in the pond water?
Ma'am, Kavish.
Kavish, bolo.
And the hormone thyroxine is produced by the thyroid gland of the frog. It is essential to carry out the process of metamorphosis. Iodine is needed for the production of thyroxine. It is made available by water in which the tadpoles are growing. If there is a deficiency in iodine, the tadpoles cannot carry the process of metamorphosis, which results them. नहीं. This will not help them to grow into a frog.
Hello. Next है. Differentiate between goiter and diabetes. Naman. Naman.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, please repeat the question.
Differentiate between goiter and diabetes. Got the question? Question समझ
Yes,
रहे हो
ma'am.
ना? Goiter
Yes,
क्या
ma'am.
है और डायबिटीज क्या है? किस चीज की कमी से ये दोनों disease होते हैं?
Ma'am, may I, Aditya Raj?
Okay, Aditya Raj, tell.
Yes, ma'am. Goiter is a disease caused by the lack of thyroxine produced by thyroid gland, whereas insulin is a disease caused by
Not insulin.
insulin is a disease.
Diabetes, not insulin.
Sorry, diabetes is a disease caused by lack of insulin produced by pancreas.
ठीक है, correct. Why is physical exercise important for adolescents? Sarah.
Yes, ma'am. Just like food, physical activity or exercise is a daily requirement for an adolescent. Exercise also helps in better digestion of food and more efficient elimination of toxins from the body. It also improves blood circulation and increases the respiratory efficiency of lungs. Physical activity is also important to relief of the stress and strain of adolescence.
List the various changes that occur during puberty in human. Pragya Raj Gondele.
Yes, ma'am. Repeat question.
List the various changes that occur during puberty in humans.
The changes are changes in the size of hearts and lung, changes in body shape, change in voice, and change in height.
Or kuch?
Increased activity of sweat and sebaceous.
Increased
Or
activity.
increase in sweat and
sebaceous gland. Next.
increased activity of sweat and sebaceous gland.
List the secondary sexual characters that appear during puberty in males and females, respectively. Wait a minute, I just want to see. Vanshraj is there? Vanshraj. Are you there? Anurag. Anurag. Anurag Anand, you are there? I can see you. Follow. Just sitting idle. Okay. Anupriya, बोलिए.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. In boys, the appearance of pubic and facial hair takes place, and in girls, the breasts start developing and the appearance of pubic hair takes place. Body hair also become prominent.
Then let me see from inside the chapters, are there some different questions? Why should we say no to drugs? Vashvi.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, wait a
Why
minute.
should we say no to drugs?
Ma'am, because drugs is very harmful to us. Drugs can cause many. Ma'am, I don't know it properly.
Okay. Shobh, can you explain?
My gosh.
Yes, ma'am.
बोलिए.
Yes, ma'am. We should avoid drugs because taking small amount of drugs also makes us addicted to it, and in future we may take large quantities of them. It causes many diseases related to cardiovascular diseases and etc. It makes us immunity also weak, so we should avoid drugs.
We should say no to drugs. Okay. Then, what is metamorphosis? What is metamorphosis?
A radical change in the structure and habits of an organism during its life cycle.
Then after that, next is what are adrenal glands and where is it located?
It is located on the top of the
Adrenal glands are the
kidney.
tiny organs that are located on the top of the kidney and they release adrenaline,
Secrete
a
adrenaline.
hormone which controls the response of the body to stressful situations.
They also release hormones which regulate the mineral levels in the blood.
Okay, why are this endocrine glands known as ductless gland?
Ma'am, may I, Navya?
बोलिए.
Endocrine glands are also known as ductless glands as they do not have any ducts of their own. They pour their secretions directly into the bloodstream.
Next. Can you differentiate between autosomes and sex chromosomes? Autosomes and sex chromosomes.
Human beings have 46 chromosomes
May I?
in the nuclei of their cells.
Ma'am, may I
Of
ask
these,
me?
44 are known as autosomes, and the last pair is termed as sex chromosomes.
Ma'am, here we have to differentiate, and this is not the correct one.
Can you speak? बोलिए.
Ma'am, autosomes, chromosomes which have no role in determining the sex of the individual, and sex chromosomes are the chromosomes involved in determining the sex
Sex
of the
chromosomes
individual.
involved in determining the sex of the individual.
Okay. ठीक है, एक करके बोलो. All of you are saying together.
Autosomes
Ma'am,
are
may
the
I,
chromosomes
Rashmi?
which have no role in.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, autosomes, they are present in nuclei of human cell, and they have no role in determining the sex of the child, whereas sex chromosomes have role in determining the sex of the child. Autosomes are 44 in number, whereas sex chromosomes are 2 in number. Sex chromosomes are different for females and males.
Okay, then next, differentiate between menarche and menopause. Abhishek, can you speak? Aditya?
Yes, ma'am. The first, yes, ma'am. The first menstruation flow in the girl is called menarche, whereas the last, when the menstruation cycle stop, this is called menopause.
Menstruation.
Ma'am.
Yes, it's correct. Next question. These are the most important one, although इस chapter में और कुछ ज़्यादा है नहीं आपको. When you are describing about the changes in puberty, according to the marks mentioned, you all elaborate the answer. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
और उसमें आपको अगर आपको 3 या 4 marks में 4 marks तो generally नहीं रहता है, 3 marks and 5 marks, then you try to elaborate it. Okay. And children, one thing more, you will also learn the graph which is given on page number 206 and 207 about the adolescence period. ठीक है? Maybe for a change, the graph may be asked that at which stage we can call it as an adolescence stage. Prove it with the help of a age graph. ठीक है? तो उसको आप बता सकते हो, इसलिए मेंटली प्रिपेयर्ड रहना चाहिए हर एक तरह के क्वेश्चन के लिए.
Ma'am, which disease is occurred by taking of drugs? Ma'am, which disease can be occurred by taking of drugs?
डिजीज तो बहुत तरह का हो सकता है. आपको ड्रग्स में आपका स्लीपिंग सिकनेस भी हो सकता है, फिर उसके बाद आपको मेंटल इम्बैलेंस हो सकता है, फिर आपका
lacking of control
शुक्ला
over
राय ने
mind,
डिजीज बताया था, वो कौन सा
Liver
था?
disease.
क्या बोल
Liver
रहे हैं?
disease.
लिवर, हाँ लिवर भी डैमेज हो सकता है।
Cardiovascular disease.
कार्डियोवैस्कुलर डिजीज भी हो सकता है, बहुत तरह का। एक्चुअली वो दैट ड्रग्स वीकन आवर important organs. That can depend on person to person, that which type of disease, like cancerous भी हो सकता है drug के कारण, where any part can get affected and that will lead to cancer. So you can't
Yes,
say that which type of problem can cope up with the intake of drugs. Clear? It can vary from person
Yes,
to
ma'am.
person.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
मैम थाइमस ग्लैंड का क्या मैम रोल क्या है मैम एंडोक्राइन सिस्टम में?
थाइमस, देखो ये आपका कहाँ पर है, पहले ये देखो। कोई भी ग्लैंड क्या करता है? ग्लैंड का
हार्मोन
क्या
सेक्रेट
होता है?
कर
पर्टिकुलर सेक्रेशन होता है जो कि किसी भी एक्टिविटी को एनहांस करता है, उस पार्ट के एक्टिविटी को। क्लियर? तो आपका यहाँ पर ये हार्ट के पास है थाइमस ग्लैंड, तो उसको रेगुलेट करेगा फंक्शन को।
ओके मैम।
Because this
Ma'am, what
all
will
gland systems are there for regulation of your body parts. तो अलग अलग बॉडी पार्ट में ग्लैंड होने का मतलब है कि उस पर्टिकुलर बॉडी पार्ट को वो स्ट्रेंथ देता है। ठीक है, इन डिफरेंट वेज। चलो अब नाउ चिल्ड्रन, एनीथिंग मोर टू बी डिस्कस्ड हियर? आपको अगर थोड़ा सा इसमें याद रखना, मिनरल्स का जरूर पॉइंट्स दीजिएगा व्हेन यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट nutritional needs of adolescents. What are the nutritions which should be taken in proper and adequate amount during adolescence age to develop the reproductive health? Then please give the reference of different types of minerals. Okay? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Ma'am,
you,
what will
children.
be the our next chapter?
Next chapter हम लोग का क्या है? Electric current is coming now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
हाँ, तो
ma'am.
वही कर लेते हैं हम लोग। Next will be your electric.
Yes, ma'am.
Electric current.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, children.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good day, ma'am.
Ma'am, have a nice day.
Thank you. Same to you.